Hey everybody, just wanted to do something different besides gardening. We're going to make some homemade AppleJack. What's AppleJack? Well, it's kind of a form of it's a hard apple cider, homemade moonshine, whatever you want to call it. But anyhow, what you need is 5 gallons of fresh apple juice. Now I went to my local orchard and got fresh pressed apple juice with no sugar, no preservatives in it. And that's what you want. You don't want anything with preservatives because it just won't work. So you get 5 gallons, and what you want to, and you're going to need 5 pounds of dark brown sugar. I like using the brown sugar over the white sugar. This gives it more flavor and color. So you're going to need 5 pounds of that, and you're going to need some yeast. Now what I use is the Lavalin EC 1118 yeast. This stuff works good. It gives a high alcohol content. And if you can't find this, you can always use the good old Red Star active dry yeast, bread yeast. Okay? You won't get the alcohol content as you would with this stuff, but in the bind, this will work. You're also going to need a container to put your stuff in. So I have a 5-gallon bottle here, and I got an airlock. You're going to need an airlock, and what this does is it keeps the air from coming in. It'll let the gases escape and prevent the air from coming back in. Okay? So what we're going to do is, first thing is going to take a gallon of apple juice. We're going to put it in the pot, and we're going to heat it up. We want to get it to about 110 degrees. And then once we get to that point, we're going to start adding our brown sugar. We're going to add all 5 pounds of the brown sugar to that 1 gallon of juice. Alright, so hold on here. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, now once we get our sugar, 5 pounds of sugar mixed in with our apple juice, we want to let it sit down and cool down for a little bit. We really want to get it to be about 100 degrees before we add it to our jug. So what I did now was I've already filled this up. I have added 3 gallons of juice in it. I didn't put all 5 in yet. I kept one. The 1 gallon we're going to use after we add our mixture into this. We're going to top it off. Okay. Now, one thing I forgot to tell you is, and I'm sure everybody already knows this when they make their own alcohol, make sure everything you use is sanitized, sterilized, because we're fermenting this and we do not want any bad bacteria in our hooch. It's just gonna, it'll just ruin your stomach, man. So with that said, make sure everything you use is sanitized, sterilized, so that problem doesn't happen. Now the jugs, you want to keep the jugs, wash them out and sanitize them, because we're going to reuse them. Alright, so hold on and I'll show you the rest of the video. I'm going to fill this up now with our mixture because it's about the right temperature now. So I'll fill this up and I'll show you what else we got to do. Alright, so hold on. One important part I did forget is we have to activate our yeast. So what I did was I took a little bit of our sugar mixture here, put it in there, and then dumped my package of yeast. Dumped the yeast in there, mixed it up, and once it's activated, you'll see it'll start foaming up the sides. So that means the yeast is activated, and I'll show you what we'll do with that when the time comes. All right, so hold on. All right, so now once your yeast is activated, you can see how it's got all foam in it. You know it's activated. You pour that in. We're going to pour it in here. Now, I topped it off. So actually what you end up doing is probably a little over 4.5 gallons. You don't want to fill it all the way up to the top. What's going to happen is once this yeast starts attacking the sugar, it's going to start foaming just like it is now. And it's going to produce some gas. So you get a little room for expansion. Now, what you want to do now is put your airlock on. And all I did was reuse the cap. It's got a little plastic fitting, so I drilled a hole through it so my airlock will sit in it. This will make a tight seal. Set it on there. We take this lid off and we're going to fill it with water. So we're going to take a little bit of cold water. Rinse this out real quick. Alright, so when we get it up, we're going to fill this up. And there's a little line there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a line there. We're going to put our lid on. Give it a little shake. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to let the air. It's going to let the air escape that's building up inside. The pressure start bubbling, and then it'll vent through the top. The top of this, you see, it's got little holes in it. It allows the air to escape. Now it's going to let air out and won't let it back in, and that's what you want. Now, all we're going to do is let this ferment for about a minimum of 6 days. I like to let it sit for about 10 days, just to make sure all the sugars are gone. What I usually do is just stick it in a closet and just let it go. Maybe every other day, give it a little swirl, and then let it go. Alright? So this is going to be a first part, and once this is ready, I'll put the second part up to show you how to freeze it and get the alcohol. Alright? So if you guys like what you see, subscribe. If you got any comments, questions, post them below, and I'll get back to you. Alright? So hopefully you guys will like this video. It's, like I said, something different. We'll see how it goes. I've made this before, and this is actually really good. For homemade alcohol, this is like the simplest thing to make. Alright? So until then, another 10 days I'll make a video and show you what you have to do with this. Alright? I'll talk to you guys later. See you, bye.